I mean, certainly with Lucky dropping 31, Kenny at 30.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like those two players just going into the stratosphere in terms of their fragging ability is pretty wild. And starting on the T side as well, we'll see if they can get out to a hot start. Fast pace towards the upper bomb site. A split, perhaps, it looks like, with a couple players coming outside, but they're going to run all the way down towards Secret. Spotted at the last second. I have to imagine this is a strategy to come back up the vents and bypass the setup, but it's not going to work.
Look at the double setup there on the stairs, and you just saw the Betway odds. They're heavily favoring ENCE early on, so maybe there's a good reason why that is. Sergey with two big lock openings there, double headshot, and I don't know, he didn't really need to do anything else. He's already done enough. Now they're back protecting lobby, denying Jax from even entering.
It's actually two players there, denying Jax and Kiyoshima access into the bomb site, so this is not going to go well. There's like a triangle setup here. There's like two different crossfires they have to break through. It's not going to be easy.
Jax, pretty credible job of it so far. Sergey, third kill. Even low on health, he's still making that work. And yeah, Kiyoshima, the other player who was stuck, finally getting our kill, but time has simply run out from this round. No kit, and even if he had one, still would not have had time for it. Looking for exits, going to be a quick shot there, and I think, yeah, X7 manages to escape. Brilliant round, great start from ENCE to begin with, and obviously Sergey, the hero in this particular scenario.
And they needed it after that portion of the attack that went towards lower got was shut down immediately by two players on the stairs. I think it's got to be frustrating if you're Amanek up in the rafters. You're supposed to at least have like 3 bullets of like a free shot down towards the players coming out of hut, and Sergey just spins and looks directly up. He's just like, you know what, I'm just gonna just hard clear it, see if I get lucky, and that's exactly what happens. 1-0 for ENCE.
No buy at all here for G2. An HE grenade and 5 USPs. That's interesting.
I'm fine with that as well, especially on a map like Nuke, where the utility can play such a big part. I mean, that's the case on every map, right? But especially on something like Nuke that has these narrow choke points, like being able to use the Molotovs and the smokes to stop a fast play towards the upper bomb site, it helps your defense so very much.
They're all lined up. This is such an ancient strategy on Nuke. Going very, very far back. But nobody's crossed the line. What you really hope if you're in this setup is that people don't shoulder peek it, but that they actually just commit to the fight.
And they usually don't, right? But that's probably data that is in my brain due to gun rounds.
Yeah. I mean, most people at this high level, right, are going to be a little bit careful, but you can obviously mess that up. And especially if because you're going to see one person first maybe, and then you'll be like, all right, I'll take that fight. And then there's just a lot of people there. Yeah, they all peek out at the same time. And
you actually just painted the picture before it happened. Ariel sees one player and he's just like, cool. They're saving. I want those fights. I want those kills. And then 4 people show up.
Yeah, and if he doesn't fall back around the container, he probably doesn't make it at all. Now instead, it's all falling apart. It's got real weird now. Ooh, good kill though. It's something. It's a start. Another headshot. Kiyoshima and Amanek. Oh, actually sneaking up from behind. Yeah, up on the silo. That's a good follow-up. They're doing something here.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they've gotten a couple kills out of it. It's nothing to be super happy, but especially if Kyo could somehow find a way to grab the Galil, maybe after the bomb explosion, but he's got Alu looking exactly for that play. So Kyo's going to back away, and you can't even fault him for not risking his life. He's only saving a USP, but the armor and the kit, pretty valuable stuff. He could actually choose to drop an AWP if he wanted to, 53-50 on him. So we could drop that to a teammate and trade it out for an M4, and that's exactly what's going to happen with Kenny.
Yeah, because he'd saved the armor from earlier. That's kind of a big play, right?
Oh, and also, he's the only kit in this round where they're very limited with their utility, with things they can buy up around the weapons. So you want to talk about, why we talk about how important it is to save just even sometimes the minuscule amount that you have. Look at it now.
It all adds up. Oh, no missed grenade there. X7 going for the immediate vent dive. Amanek at least surely going to be calling out saying somebody could have made his way in. We just have no idea. But who's going to rotate to cover that weakness? So far, nobody.
Yeah, nobody's even moved. 2 defenders inside a ramp room. Kyo hasn't even come down to peek. How do they get him into a position, though? That's the thing. The sound cue of the windows blowing up is always going to give away the game. Even the doors opening is going to pass on information. This is a very unique setup with 2 players in ramp room.
Some of the time what you can do if you have X7 in that position is you can try and force the ramp players back so that he's waiting for them down there at the window room.
Yeah.
But it seems like instead they're just pushing to see if anyone's going to go back towards X7, and that's not happening right now.
Well, it's also X7 in this position. Like, now that they're down low, you'd think someone was going to rotate to the lower bomb site. So I don't know if G2 has just been fooled, or if maybe they don't have a great coordination on how they want to rotate down to the lower bomb site. But if they don't get some kills here pretty soon, they might want to just save, because they are going to be locked out. And this is, despite having the weapons, the kit on Keo, and some utility, this is not an easy bomb site to retake in 5 versus 5.
And they're all coming in from the exact same angle. I'm so confused. They should not be doing this. I think this is a horrible mistake. Those are really narrow chokeholds. Gonna try and throw a grenade to make their way through, and the predictable outcome is absolute slaughter there on the CT side. We tried to warn them.
I know. I could just imagine, because I would be the one guy who's like, guys, we should probably save this. You know, we should save it. And then someone else is like, no, we're fine. We can do it. And then you just want to be like, I told you so. But it's a little bit early for I told you so's.
Also, I've noticed this just, you know, as a life experience. Nobody ever appreciates being told that you told them. Like, nobody enjoys that.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with you there.
Not going to be making many friends that way.
I don't think the line "I told you so" has a whole lot of positive responses in its history.
What do you reply to that? Thanks.
Usually a middle finger, I think, is where you go with it. But
oh man,
surely, as you mentioned, the predictable outcome. That, I think people saw that slaughter coming a long way away.
If there was one thing to take away from the movie 300, right? It's
okay.
That you shouldn't try and attack people where like the only way to attack them is through like a very narrow camp.
Yeah,
like,
the hot gates.
Just don't want to do that at all. 3-0.
They even had like mutant rhinos, and it still failed.
Yeah, I mean that's saying a lot,
right? You
right?
can't win with mutant rhinos.
Yeah, what makes you think a couple of M4s are going to do the trick? Certainly not. Yeah, it's a secondary lesson. I agree.
Yeah, as the follow-up, the amendment.
At least
Section 1A.
At least if you're going to try, bring mutant rhinos. It might help down the stretch. Well, we're head into the 4th round here with a bit of an early exchange. Very limited on the weapons here on the G2 side. Lucky though, I mean, doing a lot right here. In fact, a big double, making it a 2-on-2 somehow. No weapon picked up by Kenny yet. Doesn't mean that they can still find a way to do this. Aerial in such a strong position. Looked like he sidestepped as he took that first shot, and that could have probably screwed it up for him now. Instead, it's all a question of timing. The bomb is going to be going down. Lucky coming down on that ladder, and don't think they know he's here yet. Hasn't been making any noise, and he's got all the health in the world, but they're both waiting on that side. As soon as he shows himself, surely they're going to pounce on him both at the same time. The headshot from Sunny, and ENCE will win a 4th round, even if it was very close.
Yeah, but I mean, still, off to a good run, off to a good start. And I think the big thing with Nuke as well, even though it's ENCE's pick and they're going to feel comfortable on it, getting off to a nice start, like getting the 5 rounds you need or the 4 rounds you need like immediately is great. So they're sitting in a very comfortable position, as well as even with the losses in the previous round, building up money. Aerial 7,700, Alu 6,100. That must be nice. And I mean, that even goes back to Dust 2. Remember, ENCE had the great money control at a certain section, and G2 eventually took it all away from them. This looks like a more heavy of a commitment. Sergey brought down low as well. They have found their way in towards the vent.
Oh,
that
no.
nade, though, Sergey... I don't know how he's alive. I don't know how Aerial's alive. Almanek has just done so much damage.
Yeah, I mean, that falls apart very quickly on that first corner, doesn't it? When almost 3 people get sprayed down, or at least 2. 5 versus 3 here. And G2 with a big chance to make a lot of money into the next round, which they absolutely need.
Yeah, they need to preserve player lives. They can't lose a whole lot of people on this, and they should be set up fine for it. Kiyoshima in the back of the warehouse. And especially because with the low HP of Sergey and Aerial, like there's only one person that G2 really has to worry about. It's that guy right there. Alu's gone down. Everyone else should be a much easier time when they do get into the engagements and get into the encounters. And there's Kenny finding the final frag. All 5 players survive for G2 as they finally get on the board. 1-4.
Yeah, just being able to survive that round with that many rifles alone could probably turn the mood a little bit on the French side here. 6th round are going to be coming up, and It is still a lot of money they have to spend this round, ENCE, to rebuy. I thought maybe they would have had a bit more, but some of them dropping low on the economy. So maybe a chance for the CT side to gain a foothold if they can survive this upcoming round. What kind of grenade is Sergey setting up for that far back? Or is he just waiting? No, he's got a smoke in hand, I'm wondering.
Well, they've got a lot of things to overcome here. Kiyoshima pushed up in red box. He's going to hold on to it. They line up for him. Good peek. He's down to 12. He's going to try and get away. And as the smoke clears, I think Alu is going to have a freebie of a kill. And he's second. But Kiyo's been very, very sneaky, but he can't make it. He did his best.
Surely, no, Kenny didn't even have a flashbang for him. Otherwise, he probably could have helped him either go for a fight or escape, but only had the smoke. So, great start, but now it's a 3-on-3 anyway.
G2 cannot lose this. That would be so upsetting if they dropped this round.
Down the vent again.
I think they have to swing out of the upper bomb site. I think they just have to go for it. Not down the vent, but they are going to go down the vent. Here we are. There's one player in the lower bomb site just holding on behind the silo. And Jax knows they're coming out the door. This is a nasty off angle to deal with. He was looking in the wrong direction, but it's still just so simple to line up the double kill. X7 does take him down, but now the rotations can come in, and it's going to be tough for him to get out after this bomb is planted.
Kenny already looking at that smoke. Oh, the peek there. Big chance for a headshot, and he almost needed to get that. The more time passes, the more the backup is going to be coming, walking in behind him. He actually turns for it. Heads up play. Now the double, but Kenny going aggressive and challenging that fight right away. That's still a lot of rifles lost, but G2 winning a second round here.
I like the mobility from X7 after that plan. When Kenny takes that shot, he uses the 1 second to get into that new great position, find one more kill, and then even Kenny, once his teammate goes down, using that time to push out of that narrow choke point and get into the open, which X7 did not expect. ENCE can buy here with that plant. The extra money coming in. They are on the line, but they're going to go for it. This is a beautiful start to the round, which does make you a little bothered that it ended in a one-on-one in such a fashion, but a nice fight back in the round from ENCE, finding the follow-up picks.
There was 48 seconds when they ran onto that bomb site. And you're right, it was an off angle for Jax down there, but it's still kind of like they weren't under so much pressure that they had to charge the bomb site necessarily. Could be a little bit quicker this time, or at least pretending so. I think X7 is the one throwing grenades. They're going to go for ramp instead. And Jax, we might get caught here. Picks up a kill, but yeah, he was in the middle of nowhere. And that's a problem. Nice shot from Kenny, though.
Yeah, again, they just used all their utility on a fake, so they didn't have anything for that hole, so Kenny's able to get one more kill. Now they can get the bomb planted, but again, without nades to kind of hold things off and buy themselves a bit more time, this can be sketchy. G2 already now, just as the bomb gets planted, lining up for the retake, and Alu, such a big job to do. Buddied up with Sunny. There's the first shot, the peek from Sunny. It doesn't pan out. It's just X7, and there's just way too many bodies for him and this little Galil to deal with. Cute little Galil. Thinking it's an AK-47.
Yeah, it kind of wants to be, right?
Yeah, it's trying its best.
It's got those aspirations, but doesn't really feel right, does it? I mean, still, that double position over at the corner probably should have netted them more than that. So yeah. Even then, they were in a tough position. They lost a lot getting into the bomb site. So third round in a row for G2, and now pistols Tech9 on Alu. I've missed it.
He's bringing it back. Do you still think the Tech9 is better than dualies?
Of course. I mean, Tech9s never get bored, but at least they get kills every once in a while.
Well, we'll see. I feel like you just don't give any credit when the dualies get kills.
Yeah. Could you bring up some great dualie highlights for us, Jason?
I had one at one point in my life.
All right, well.
Amanek inside of the fence. Yeah, that tells you everything you need to know, doesn't it?
Look, it's survived so far.
It hasn't even... Yeah, I mean, he's what, shot the wall or something as he ran by? Yeah, sick, bro.
Look, lucky he was convinced like sick.
Yeah, but he's got a USP. Like, anything is going to be an upgrade.
Except for dualies.
You'd really keep the USP over dualies?
Of course I would.
There's no way you would.
Of course I would.
I don't believe that for a second.
You can actually shoot people in the face with the USP at long range. Like, dualies will do none of that.
You can't shoot anyone in the face with any weapon.
It's more like a general U, like a
okay, I see.
Broad, you know. 9th round. And the score's all tied up. The French I mean, this isn't their map pick, but they're doing a great job. Sunny sitting inside of the Molotov for just a bit too long.
I think that it might have even spread a little bit when he was unawares, or he didn't expect the massive amount of damage he took before it spread.
Should have put on a lot more sunscreen for that kind of action.
Not according to Tom Brady.
No, it's true.
Some spam in towards the hut, but no real damage dealt to the defenders. And everything's kind of locked up at the moment. And ENCE readjusting. 3 players in lobby, and they realized, you know, so many people there, they just didn't all have something to do. So Ariel is going to lead the way, and they want to set up a late smoke wall to get the cross down. All 4 players for ENCE is going to be here, and Keo's going to have plenty of information. Molotov in, double Molotov to delay things. But no one really budging on the defense still. There's the spam. Ooh, look at X7. He's actually going to make a play in towards Mini, but he's got the bomb. He's got to be so careful. If the bomb falls here, they're in trouble. And Keo gets baited into that peak, and the defense, oh, it's crumbled just a bit.
Lucky's still in the corner. And not a lot of health here on X7. They're not checking the corner. He gets one, a big follow-up, and wasn't expecting a third, but still creates enough of a distraction that Jax is going to be picking up a kill in the middle of all that action. Now 20 seconds, and Alu in a 1 versus 2. He picks up the 1 kill, and Jax has now vacated that position and is sneaking around outside. Oh, and Alu, he fakes the bomb and walks around. That might have been the perfect play. Otherwise, he would have been gone down immediately. 8 seconds. He has no idea whether he has to look above or below, but he's found the right position so far. And Jax, really only the element of surprise could save him here. He's got 11 health. And so far hoping that Alu's going to be walking into it now. He's on top of the hut. He's positioned himself so well this whole round, but that last peak is still going to be a little bit of a coin flip. Now, flashbang to set it up. Alu turns around, but headshot, that's so quick. And what a round from Jax and Lucky.
I actually think that's a phenomenal round and attempt from Alu inside of the bomb site. That is just so much time to be alone in the bomb site with no information of where Jax is coming from. The fake plant and the step behind the silo, because you're just saying, okay, well, he's going to peek. If he's up there, he's going to peek in some capacity, surely. In some ways, it felt like Alu might have deserved that, but just a stellar shot coming around the corner from Jax. Alu wasn't even blind. 5-4, and now 5 in a row for this G2 defense.
Huge turnaround, and now suddenly, I mean, maybe not yet, but now ENCE have to worry about what happens if they end up not winning this. Suddenly they lose the series, which again I would have picked nuke for ENCE a lot of the time, right?
Especially with the upheaval on G2 at the moment. With Kiyoshima standing in, with potentially 2 new players coming in, with Shocks departing. ENCE has had their own roster change, right? But you feel like just that 1 player swap would leave them in a better position post changes.
Yeah, I agree. Like, everything about this just feels like it would be very hard for G2 to adjust to a map like nuke. Pretty decent grenade. The one thing we can really say is that for the most part, people are making a lot of money on the G2 side. Kenny's got 12,700. I don't even know how that's possible, but you know, more power to him.
Yeah, they keep saving the off, right? And then it's just, oh, you don't have to pay for this weapon ever, despite always having it. Oh, there's no passing this. Jax on point, Kenny S with the utility damage, and ENCE's strategy is being shut down. Sergey's alone in lobby with the bomb. Alu out towards Mini. Ariel's going to have to come meet up with him, but this is the only point where it feels like they could find an entry.
Yeah, maybe Alu, but the problem is that Rafter's position inside of the bomb site is very hard to clear. Lucky's up on there. They still haven't seen it, and I mean, any second now, if he peeks here, Alu's just going to be dead with absolutely no chance for a reply. There's the 1 kill. All they can really see are his feet, and Lucky, such a great job there. Minimizing his own exposure and getting a big double, so 6-4.
And yeah, the time was just running out for ENCE to actually get into the bomb site. I think there was like 6 seconds left when they all eventually went down. Like, they had to start hustling into the bomb site. They didn't have time to clear everything. And now we get a timeout, I would assume, from the Finns, as they have been shut down entirely. 6 straight for the Frenchmen.
Time is running out. Also a great track by Apollo 440. If you're into that, go check it out.
I'm not going to lie to you. The volume on the replays on our headset is like at a different level than the rest of the game. So I didn't hear a word that you just said. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if you have that same thing going on.
A little bit. But you know what? It's fine. I can guarantee. You know what?
Was it something I needed to respond to, or is it one of your jokes?
It never is. Like it's absolutely fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
11th round and losing 6 in a row.
That doesn't feel good, does it? Especially on your map pick.
On your map pick, and especially because the way you won the first 4 rounds looked great. I was getting ready to get all hyped up. I was like, this is it. This is going to be a quick 3rd map. Glad I didn't get to say that.
Yeah, didn't buy the champagne yet, so can still return it.
Always be careful with that.
Upper hit, I would imagine Aerial is causing some kind of a distraction down low to force rotations. It feels like it's working. Just one player. Like G2 obviously doesn't have numbers, and look how fast he's there. Great kill. That's going to sell it even better. Aerial just has to survive. This is beautiful. That smoke shows that they want to get the bomb planted inside of it. And here comes the main attack, the upper hit, and Lucky, what a job he's got to do, and Kiyoshima's still here to help out.
And they only have pistols. They need still one opening frag on the bomb side. Otherwise, from a tactical point of view, this is so smart for ENCE, and it shows some good promise, but they still actually needed to open up the bomb side and certainly needed to get the bomb plant down. Needed to get the kills and win the round 2.
That's the depressing...
I'm just listing all the things.
Yeah, just everything. That's the depressing part of your Aerial, right? Because like you did your job, and then you're not going to be frustrated about this, but just the fact that it was around with just pistols, you're like, man, if we just had the weaponry to capitalize on that, but now you've got a chance to clutch. Kio's down low, and peeking into the outer yard is not going to show him. He knows that low HP. He's got to wait for Amanek.
That's bold. I mean, I don't know if the other side would have been better, but it just always is kind of cool when people plant looking straight in the mini. He has got the bomb plant down, but he's a couple of bullets away from death. Sees Kiyoshima first. 1 versus 3 turned into a 1-on-1. And on the other side, Amanek, full health, ready for it. Tap the bomb. Aerial has to shoulder peek it, and he's being run down. He still wins it. What a fight, and what a round. Quad kill. A 1 versus 3 clutch. That surely is going to get them fired up.
Oh, that is so impressive that Aerial won that. I don't know how he pulled the rabbit out of it on this one, but I mean, the opening kill, then he finishes it off a 1 versus 3. Really beautifully played. All the positioning to find one-on-ones at the end.
He actually had to do all of it by himself. Yeah. I'm gonna go down B, fake a bomb plant, then come up and get a triple kill to win the round.
The only thing I think that G2 could have done differently is if Kiyoshima didn't try and go through mini, if he went towards heaven and just went with his teammate, or if his teammate came to him.
Yeah, that could have been something.
Those are the only changes I would have made, but Kyo is just always isolated with low HP. How has Alu gotten here so fast? Holy hell.
Well, Aerial was also really quick. I can't even tell you.
He's going to decimate this whole defense.
This shouldn't be possible. Lucky's looking for it. He misses the headshot. And now at least they know. But that is wild. Again, I don't even... He just obviously boosted himself up there so quickly. Gonna go for the fight and lose it against Lucky, who actually does almost get the follow-up headshot there. Now it's a 2-on-2, but this round should have been over already just from Alu's play.
Well, the fact that Lucky, you have to imagine if Lucky was looking in that direction, in that fashion, that someone passed it along, that Keo must have heard him jump down or something along those lines. Regardless, this is the problem. G2, they got way too over-eager. Kenny coming up those vents. It could have been a 3-on-2.
They have 2 HEs left on G2, and they're going to be hard to use in a retake, because where do you risk throwing them? But Sunny's low on health, and it's not impossible. You can exploit that somehow. Sergey winning the first fight now. He's low himself, but Jackson's on the bomb, and he's going to go straight for it. They're not even close to nearby. And that's going to be an awful way. You lose 6 in a row. You win with a huge quad kill, a 1-on-3 clutch, and then you lose it like that.
Well, especially losing to the simplest mistake of planning inside the bomb site where you have no vision, and then both of you going to play lobby.
Yeah.
Like... both of you choosing positions that give you like a 0% chance of stopping the bomb.
It's like they had accounted for all of the possibilities except the one where somebody defuses the bomb.
Except for the one where they beat themselves.
Rough time.
Yeah, it's not great. Lots of smoke outside. I believe that's 4 of them. Sunny, Alu, and Aerial going to find their passage down to the stairs. Keo with no intel, but this time he's playing far back, so... you have to imagine Kenny S has rotated down low with the AWP. Oh, great pick from Alu, the boost up over the smoke. And now that position from Kenny S gets weird because he doesn't want to be there the whole time with no impact. He's got to make a decision eventually if he wants to fall back or if he wants to push forward for information.
A fantastic illustration of a really basic principle there. Oh, he saw the shadow first of all, and also X7 didn't even really make his way around the corner. So 4-on-4 now. Huge grenade. And desperately need this round. Their economy definitely not looking good right now.
Is there any chance they expect Jax to be on top of this roof at this stage in the round?
I can give it a solid 0% chance that anyone looks there.
This is so weird, though. Like, normally when teams take over the outer yard on the T side, the defenders don't want anything to do with it. They don't want to go out there and investigate, and G2 have done just that. They've, like, re-aggressed. They've given up ramp room, which Sergey, you know... Oh, I actually noticed that. One player did drop out. It looked like he was just staring into the wall.
Well, now it's getting real uncomfortable. Because I think maybe, if anything, Sergey could have been the guy to take down Jax coming up from, with the flank.
Has Sonny crashed as well? That would be my question. No, he's still moving around.
Well, 10 seconds. So obviously going to have to just kind of let this one go because damage has been done. It's deep in the round. It's just unlucky. We'll see what happens. But let me talk about this for just a second while we clear this up. That boost on the double smoke, that wall of smokes outside.
Yeah.
It's like a universal principle that can be applied like across any strategy in Counter-Strike, right? Where something becomes, you know, sort of like a default play. You know what that wall of smoke means.
Yeah.
And so when you're the CT side player, Kiyoshima, I believe, coming to check that, you just, oh, there's a wall. I'm just going to go take a quick look, and then actually it's just a huge setup, right? And you're really playing on the idea that the other people will be making that assumption that they're so trained at that point to assume that that's what's going to happen.
So you're leading this into the argument that we don't see like that double boost up over smokes, not just on nuke, just in general, often enough.
Yeah, or just that really anytime if any of you guys ever go back and look at demos of professional, you know, matches or anything like that, if ever there's a point where you say, man, every time, you know, this set of smokes is happening, or you know, any event that comes in sequence, people react in a certain way. Like that's an opportunity to exploit it in some strange fashion.
Right.
I mean, this is, I thought, was very, very cool, right? But it can be done almost in an unending amount of ways, which is, I think, one of the reasons why the game, you know, just continuously can be reinvented, because there's always going to be a point in time when something becomes the stable, popular thing to do.
Yeah.
And as soon as that happens, you just say, well, now, if I'm quick, even if I have time to think about it, I'll find a way to make sure people get punished for doing that. And that wasn't even like some sort of like huge overreach by Kiyoshima, right? He just sort of like...
No, he was super far back. Probably didn't feel like there was a whole lot of danger in general. So we do have, as we said, a tech pause. We've got Sonny with no headphones on, Alu with no headphones on. That's never a good sign. How many kebabs have you had since we got to Cologne, Anders?
Today was only my second.
It was only your second?
Yeah, but I went to a place inside of the city that was like a proper like Turkish restaurant.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
Okay. Do you remember the name of it? Could you recommend it? Could you send it my way?
I can send it. I don't remember it right now, but I can. I'll definitely find it. People that were unbelievably friendly. You know, because I'm here with my family, so we had like Walter at 4 and Nana at, you know, 6 months. It's like a whole family thing.
Yeah.
Like noisy and just, you know, kids at a restaurant. Nobody likes that. But it was like lunchtime, but they were really friendly about it. So you just love to see that. So appreciate it.
Yeah, you do love to see that.
But yeah, it's always shocking, isn't it, when you're used to like your sort of even average kebab is good, right? You know, everybody loves that. But if you get like real real kebab, it's amazing.
Did you get some when we were in Istanbul last year?
I did, yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah, it was. Well worth it.
You want to know something very funny? We've touched on this before, and since we're in Germany, I'll try and do it again. The Schadenfreude.
Yeah.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
You know,
Schadenfreude. Yeah.
Schadenfreude. Yeah.
You gotta try and make it sound.
The whole German twang. I can't do that. But there is something funny. The ENCE players were the ones who crashed in the round, right? And the rules are, if there's damage that's been done, you can't restart it, which is, you know, I think everyone agrees that's a fair rule to have. However, the damage was done by ENCE. They did get the opening pick, and then they crashed. So it's their own fault that they could not actually call for a restart of the round. Which,
Yeah.
That very much feels like the principle of Schadenfreude.
Yeah, at that point, you were like, yeah, if only you hadn't fired at us, then...
Yeah, it'd all be fine. It's your fault.
It would have been fine. Well, I mean, there's no accounting for things like this, unfortunately. In some ways, I'm kind of almost shocked that it doesn't happen more often. If you just think about it from like a purely like probabilistic viewpoint, you have, 10 monitors, 10 keyboards, 10 mice, graphics cards, the amount of hardware that can
go wrong, or that can just maybe glitch out for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, that's it, right? Because it's one thing if your own PC doesn't crash throughout the course of a year. I mean, it will, but then if you had 10 of them running in your room at all times, that certainly would be, and on any given day you're going to be walking in and saying like, this one's not working anymore. So
no, I don't relish the people who have to deal with all the tech and getting it set up properly. I will say, from playing on those tournament PCs and show matches, ESL does have like an insanely efficient system.
I'll tell you what, at least dealing with hardware issues in real life is so much more manageable than trying to guide people on the phone, which I used to do for a little while. That part is very strange. I'll tell you a quick story. The worst of the worst support experience I ever had.
Now, were you the supporter or the supportee?
I was the guy trying to guide a lady working in a company.
Okay.
And I had to. We'd actually done the layout for her invoices, and what happened was, she'd printed like 600 invoices, like just printed all of them. She'd approved the layout and said, yeah, it's all good. And then once she'd printed them, she called us and she said, listen, this is all fine, software's working great, but I've noticed the font at the top is wrong, which, I mean, we gave her time to, her own mistakes. She acknowledged it, I said, yes, I should have noticed, but I really want to change the font for like, is that going to be possible? I said, yes, fine, there's like a 2-minute fix, we can do that, no problem. We're not even going to charge you for it, it's easy. So we did that, and she said, okay, so I'm so relieved. So that's just gonna be working now. I said, yeah, well, but shit, and what about the 600 pages I've already printed? And it's like all the cogs in my mind just ground to a halt as I realized she was trying to ask me about whether or not somehow changing the font in the software would retroactively work on all her printed copies.
No, surely.
And I didn't even know what to say at that point. I was thinking like the amount of, it was like she was living in a different reality, and I had to like even go back and say like, well, we're gonna have to start with like Newtonian mechanics, and we're gonna have to, we need something like some kind of intervention on a massive scale, because this is everything's gone horribly wrong.
We need to send you back to school, back to basic science classes. Well, we're gonna send you all to a break with that lovely story from Anders, as the tech pause is taking a little bit longer. It's not just a quick fix, so we will return in a moment.
Never let you double cross them. Moving through the city like it's Gotham. They told me get one, so I got one. Stop saying you're a boss when you not one. You ain't sacrificed, nah, you ain't lost none. All over the gram like you got a bag. You ain't big dog, we ain't hear none of that. I'm in the gym looking like a running back. And you know the flow, got him coming back. Who I was in the past, I'm unattached. Only focus in this moment is bringing the summer back. Oh, respect my grind, elevate souls and I spread good vibes. Young divine, you know I gotta shine. Raise your hands for a good time. Aye.
Vibe until the morning, sleep until the noon. You said that you want it, so I got it for you. Let's all get together and show them how we move. We move, we move. 3, 2, bringing summer 1, to drop. You.
Oh, ready, let's go. 'Cause you know how we roll. Let's take it round the world and back again. Ready, let's go. switch my flow up. Back in high school, they were telling me I'll blow up. Doing talent shows and man, everyone will show up. Got in an accident and still made it for them to go nuts. You know what? I'm so So what? I'm so That means I can't describe the way I vibe, the way I slide. And with the rhymes that make the dimes, I'll close their eyes and fantasize. I'm divine calling their phone number. No, you know I love you. And you know me, I can't sleep without blazing beats. On stages for their ones gracefully. And I got a smile that they hate to see. Young, black, successful, though life gets stressful. Though life gets stressful, go and vibe out with whoever you next to.
Vibe until the morning, sleep until the noon. You said that you want it, so I got it for you. Let's all get together and show them how we move. We move, we move.
3, 2,
bringing summer
1,
to
drop.
you.
Oh, ready, let's go. 'Cause you know how we roll. Let's take it down the world and back again. Ready, let's go. 'Cause you know like I know. We'll take it round and round again.
We're so far, but so far from close. It's so hard to find my destiny. Try not to drift apart, 'cause you'll be right back at the start. And I don't wanna keep on falling. I gotta stay recalling memories we've lost and found. Explain to me what it's all about.
Sitting on a bench, waiting for the time to pass, dreaming of what happens next. I see what I wanna be, questioning my destiny, only knowing what I see. I don't even realize I've already made a path, and I can change it anytime. I can't take it back. I know what I want, but it seems so damn far away. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said say you wanna be somebody. day after day, it's time to prove it. No days off, keep the hustle moving. Wanna see you be what you wanted to be, prove it. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said oh. I know I empower those who dream like me. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said oh. I know I empower those who dream like me. And you say you wanna be somebody. You say you wanna be somebody. And you say you wanna be somebody. And you say you wanna be somebody.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a quick view of the bracket here for Group A, and obviously lower bracket down there. If you end up there, well, it's going to be so much harder. But Liquid already making through against United 2-0. Although it was like, what, 16-12 on the first map? 16-3 in the second one.
Yeah,
so.
the second map was a massive blowout. But yeah, either way, you don't want to drop down to that lower bracket where you can get eliminated. G2 and ENCE, winner of that is going to obviously play against Liquid. The loser will drop down and play against United. So yeah, some really cool things going on.
Harsh punishment,
Short and
isn't it?
sweet.
That if you win this game, you're playing Liquid. It's like, oh.
Yeah, congratulations.
That's rough.
Yeah, I'm sure Liquid's loving that. Good for NAF, making that kind of a bold prediction, and then seeing it potentially pan out.
Yeah, I mean, I like a confident NAF, and I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be,
He
to be
top
honest.
fragged in that series as well. 44 and 26 for him, 102 ADR, so that's a pretty solid performance. Can't laugh about that one. Nitro at 41 and 18 with 84 ADR.
I'm quite excited for the current state of Counter-Strike in the sense that that so many of the teams that we have now that are really at the top level are playing really fun Counter-Strike. I think even now, because there was a moment in the beginning of the Astralis era when they were playing like very safe and sort of very, you know,
They were just playing
linear
and like
Counter-Strike.
not making mistakes, right?
Yeah, and I feel like even now it's like they do make mistakes, but they also make really crazy plays. Like, you know, we just have fun, aggressive pushes. Maybe not as mad as some of the teams, but it's still great. I think we've hit a fantastic level of Counter-Strike right now. We get MIBR up to like a full level. We get Na'Vi working well with Guardian. Like some of those teams, if they can catch up, it's going to be awesome.
Those are big ifs.
Listen, I'm dreaming. Just give me a moment.
Still on that MIBR train, huh?
Listen.
What do you think about what we have? We just got word about 30 seconds or so. What do you think about FaZe adding Cold Zera? Are you excited for that one?
You can't not be, I think. Even from a story perspective, like, think of what they had to go through to make that happen.
I know.
It has to work.
But think about the consequences if it doesn't.
Yeah, but like from sort of you know, soap opera point of view, you know, it's gonna be great no matter what, isn't it?
You know who I think is really living the dream right now is what's his name on FaZe, the Brokey?
Yes.
Yeah, you have to be so happy that your first chance of competing at this level on this kind of a stage, you have Nico, you have coldzera now, and that's like the big headline transfer, right? So
Yeah.
no one is gonna have eyes on you. Like, you would have to do especially bad to get noticed.
That's true.
You would have to like actually throw a game individually.
Yeah, it's true, right? Everyone's going to be looking at it. That's a good point, yeah. I'm excited. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. 8-5 as we return back into the game here. And ENCE already a map down. Need to turn this around. G2 have looked somehow very good on CT side. Nuke here. Better than we were expecting with huge streaks and ENCE having to sort of fight for the money. Now they're very aggressive. After a big timeout, they just charged, they dropped down mini, and this should already almost be around 1 here.
Yeah, and I have to imagine this will be frustrating for G2 because it's almost like a completely different game. Look at the craziness as Kenny's just fighting for survival. It's almost when you come back after this long of a break, it's almost like, you know, you have to throw everything you remember out the window. And G2 not ready for that kind of a pace, but they're going to stick around. They might actually try and go for this, at least see if Kenny from Mini can pick off one more. Sergey's going to be wrapping around, so there's a timer on how long this retake can be effective.
Yeah, and it's kind of running out quickly. Impressive that Jax could even get that, although it was a nice setup with the pop flash himself. But I don't think Kenny could do much here, and they don't really have the money to throw away the AWP either. Oh, but they almost did.
Yeah, oh my god, he's just made the run right back. All right, a little bit of insanity from Kenny, but he is going to keep the AWP in his hands, which is nice, because the money is not a beautiful thing on the G2 side of things for this final round of the half.
Yeah, they needed that. Aerial gonna be winning that, or saving that gun into the next one, and Sergey as well. It's gonna be 8-6, and that one AWP save was huge for G2. So maybe they can still put up a pretty good fight here in the 15th round.
It's just got to be so frustrating if you're G2 having that level of a run, right? You won like 8 of 9, and there's still a chance. I mean, we mentioned right at the start, ENCE getting up to a 4-0 start. At that point, it's like, you have to be so comfortable getting to that point, because then all you need is 1 or 2 more rounds after the fact, and you have a good half. You have what you need. Like 4, not great. 5, fine. 6, awesome. So, yeah. I mean, for ENCE, this is just all a bonus really at this point.
Yeah, it is, and hopefully they can just remind themselves of that, even if it's been a bit strange. Amanek picking up the auto shotgun instead of Jax. It's making me sad.
Jax was the one in Ramprom that had that sick sequence, wasn't it?
Yeah, he had like an ace one time, a quad kill another time. Not the first person to do it, obviously, on Nuke, but one of the
Shout
most
out to our
successful
boy
candidates.
Hiko.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. They have very limited grenades, no head armor, not that it necessarily matters, but still it speaks to the overall level going into the 15th round here. What can they do? Wow, they're charging this.
That was a really cool route for Aerial to run. Along the smokes, Lucky hears it the whole way and is calling it's going to be lower. There's a rotation to the downstairs bomb site, and then Aerial just kind of pops out of that smoke and finds the kill in Mini. That is a very nice, creative way, and now ENCE, ever since coming back from this extended break, it's just been all them.
Yeah, they've really changed it up.
Well, it's only been 2 rounds as well, so I guess it's not like anything crazy, but
yeah, but
nice.
Still, the pace is quite a different one, and it's looked solid so far. 2 versus 4 obviously have to play for it here in the 15th round. X7, immediate headshot, kind of cancelling out any dreams that this could even be close to done. Ala will close out the round 7-8, barely in favor of G2 towards the end of the half. That's a big comeback for ENCE, and they should be very happy about that. Yeah,
a great start, and then just clawing a few of those rounds right at the end. It's a beautiful thing. We're heading to a halftime break, and then when we come back, we'll finish off Nuke, so stay tuned.
So top notch, none above us. We done came so far, now we up now. Had a vision, stuck to it, never back down. Never had much, now we on
Bring me along. like a fire in the eye of a hurricane. Always told, stay in line, be alright, better play it safe. I walk a different path, nothing can hold me back. I've passed the point of no return, something is calling me, it's in the air that I breathe. Bring me back to life again, dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive.
Come alive. We come alive in the nighttime. Fly so high they can't touch us. So top notch, none above us. We done came so far, now we up now. Had a vision, stuck to it, never back down. Never had much, now we own the whole thing. Spread it all around the world, watch it all change. Came alive, now they all see the greatness. Light shine so hard they can't take it.
Dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive.
Come alive.
Second half, second map coming up here at the ESL One New York, G2 versus ENCE. And good recovery from our Finnish friends, who otherwise were about to lose the series 2-0. Now, I'm not so sure anymore. They're quite good on this map, and even with the change of Sunny for Alexi, I still think they are going to be able to bring this one back, in fact.
Well, G2 kind of surprised us in the first map with how well they played in their own comeback, and they surprised us with how well they played in the first half and how dominant they were over ENCE there for the majority of it. So I have to imagine there's going to be at least one more wrinkle in this game, and we'll see if G2 can close it out on this T side, see how well prepared they can be, even with all the rumors of upheaval. Jax with that P250 loves that fight. Exact one he's geared up for. Does come out on the losing end, but just barely. A little bit of damage onto him, and Ariel sticking around for some more information. He does have Alu and Mini guarding his cross, keeping some space between them, so he doesn't have to be worried just yet.
Even this is an interesting position with Jax, because one misstep from Ariel out there and things could end badly. And that's obviously the plan for now. Just listen, try and fish for a kill out here with the P250, and then we'll make up our minds. Now, if they turn the corner, Sunny and Alu are both right there. And now Ariel opening up. That's such a huge kill and a lot of trouble. If there's the follow-up, Kenny's still going to be going down, and they still have mini control.
To ramp room we go. Lucky leading the way, jumping around the corner. A difficult target, but look at the retreat. Look at the way ENCE just falls back into this bomb site. No cares in the world. G2 still has a lot of ground to cover before they can get this bomb planted, and even more so if they actually want to win the round. So they try and readjust. Everywhere they've wanted to go, they've been stopped cold. I think the only thing at this point is because they've pressured under ladder and pressured the lower bomb site, this defense can't rotate into a perfect position just yet.
It's so smart for Ariel as well. If he sticks around close to hell here, he really is at the risk of getting run down, and instead he just falls back, plays it super safely. Sergey gonna pick up a kill there, and yeah, they're slowly getting whittled away inside of this bomb side. More reinforcements are coming up, and Kiyoshima, I guess lucky to be shot mid there, or he would have probably fallen to his death.
That would have looked silly.
It's embarrassing.
Those Glocks just really didn't work too well. I think they were using like paintball guns for the round.
Yeah, you need to check that, don't you?
Always double check your gear.
8-8, and with that kind of a round win for ENCE.
Is that an Angry Bird?
I don't know, it could be.
Or just a red chicken?
I don't know which would make the least sense. I won't lie.
All right. Here we are. Magical powers of the stuffed chicken. Will it bring G2 to a victory in this opening series at ESL One New York?
Well, so far, I don't know if we can give the chicken credit necessarily, but they've been playing pretty well.
Oh, how did that happen? Sunny's going to be frustrated. I mean, there's no chance of a bomb plant. Jax is down low. He's on hot pursuit, and he's going to fall here. He's going to burn 2x7's Molotov, 9-8. And if going back to the first half, that's now 4 in a row for the Finnish side.
Quad kill for Aerial, I think, that round, and he's been playing pretty well overall. Had some good rounds here against the less impressive weaponry of G2. But finally in the lead are ENCE. And now they have to play against pretty good weaponry there on the G2 side. Although they have, I mean, the UMPs are really nothing to scoff at, are they? On a map like Nuke, can still be very powerful. Advanced position Aerial, looking for that kill. The wall of smoke's actually saving Aerial, or he would have probably got shot down. And there's Sunny with a double kill. In fact, a triple, all of them with the UMP.
Oh, that's so beautiful. What a lobby crunch with the SMGs as well. Perfectly timed. Dominik, yeah, you can have control of everything you want outside. Who cares about that? ENCE control the rest of the map. A doable, but a very difficult 1 versus 2, and Dominik has no utility as well. This is going to have to be brute force. And so much time has passed since these kills came out from Sunny that whatever information he was passed along is essentially useless at this point.
Smartly, ENCE are just going to try and stay grouped up.
Here's the problem for Dominik. He's going all the way back. He's going to wrap around the long way, so to speak. But if he has to walk this whole way because they could be in lobby, he's going to spend so much time walking and clearing things out. By the time he gets to the bomb, he won't have a whole lot of time and a whole lot of options. At a certain point, he's going to have to start running. And you have to imagine he'll run towards Squeaky Door or go towards Squeaky Door because that at least gives you the opportunity to drop down if you encounter any kind of defense or any kind of standing. 35 seconds left for him to work with, and he hasn't even started clearing out lobby.
Yeah, at this point, you're hoping that you've already caught one guy who's, looking the wrong way or has been falling back and wasn't expecting you to rotate this way. But now with 20 seconds, I don't know, you're going to have to be so quick. And he must be frustrated by now, even just wondering, where are they? Finally sees, but yeah, there's no time. He actually can't run anywhere.
Yeah, what a god-tier decision from ENCE. These two players just bail out of lobby where the bomb is, go into the upper bomb site. That would be a big win if he could get it. He knew where the second player was afterwards. But Aerial comes out on top, and that's a 10th round for ENCE.
This lineup with the UMP, that is so powerful.
Yeah, they thought the smoke would save them. It did not.
No, and there was a grenade that landed on top of them as well at the same time, so that'll really ruin your day. 10-8 and 6 rounds away from bringing us that third map on Overpass.
Ooh, that'd be spicy. Frenchies love a good overpass. Door blown open, smoke towards Mini, light utility usage, and that's just gonna bait out some counter nades. The follow-up is coming right here, right now, and Sunny can't transfer over. What a jump. What an entry from Dominik, and he's made their way downstairs. He's gonna try and clear the way. Lucky with the deagle. You don't need to commit to that fight. You just want to hold them there. But I don't know if they have the weaponry to deal with X7, who's being more aggressive to stop this plant.
Jax caught in the middle of nowhere. Huge opening in this round, but the landing less than perfect.
Yeah, well, I think obviously they want to crunch, right? Those players in ramp room want to get down ramp and actually help and wrap behind X7, who is pushing forward. Unfortunately, when you encounter KennyS and AWP, like holding that kind of cross and that kind of route that you have to run, and you don't have any utility, that does feel like a losing battle no matter what you do.
Yeah, I don't know how they would have found a decent way out of that. Like a lightning fast bomb plant with no, like maybe then you could put the pressure back on.
Well, there are only 2 players actually downstairs, one with the bomb and one without, but like, that would be so much more powerful if they could get there, and it feels really ugly and disjointed, but then you realize why they couldn't get there. Ooh. I don't think there's a world in which KennyS expected that spot.
Certainly not that early on, and he was there himself quickly, right? So he probably felt like, if anything, I'll be catching somebody off guard here. Not so. 11-8 so far. The ENCE CT side looking remarkably good. They don't have to do anything much right now at all. Still got perfect vision of yard. Aerial spend all day just watching that. If they smoke it off, at least they can start to adjust them. But otherwise, why move anyone around?
Yeah, X7 can just drop as soon as he feels pressure as well. There's the flashbang, and he hears the footsteps as he unclears, and Alu just slowly walks into that headshot.
Less than ideal.
Bomb is still dropped outside of lobby, so no reason for them to commit at any point. But Jax, with control of ramp room, has so many options available to him.
And they have some grenades if they want to go for that B plant, but now they picked up the bomb and they're bringing it back outside. I'm getting real worried. The time that is left, 30 seconds as you make your way past the silo here. If you don't smoke this, then Aerial is going to be there. If you do, you have no smokes left to actually put the bomb down. I think they're in a lot of trouble here. Instant headshot, but that's already a giveaway, and now 15 seconds?
Yeah, and they have to run the whole way. Jax almost has to get aggressive, but X7 just needs to buy time. He doesn't even need to commit to any of these fights. He can just wait and lure them to sink back, and that's what he's done. Kiyoshima with the big win, and now they can get a plant. Just barely, this is somehow going to work out. Big kill for Sergey. He could stop the plant, but he doesn't realize it's going down. And he trusts that the smoke, that Kiyoshima is going to stay inside of it. A 1 versus 2. They've somehow pulled it off, and I think Sergey's choosing to back away. He's got no HP, no health for this fight.
I don't know what you even can do at this particular stage. Just one bullet and you're done. You don't even know if they have more grenades or anything. So, yeah, he's hoping for somebody to peek him, but that's not going to happen. G2 with a very, very unlikely round win. I just still actually am not quite clear on how they did that.
How the time made it, yeah.
Yeah. Because that is, I don't know. That's so low on the clock. Kiyoshima, I mean...
And there was fights along the way,
yeah.
Right? There was the player in Mini that was a 1-for-1. There was a player above Heaven that slowed them down just a little bit. There was X7 downstairs that slowed them down just a little bit. Like, so many things could have gone wrong, and unfortunately for ENCE, none of them did.
Yeah, it all worked out well. Even the fact that Kiyoshima, I mean, it was obviously very, very smart for him to throw that smoke, because otherwise they would have lost the round. But I was even going to say, risking throwing that smoke at that point in time, it's like...
Well, he wasn't even all the way inside of it when he started planning either.
Yeah.
Like, Sergey could have stopped it as well. Either way, those are all ifs. Those are all alternate realities. 9-11. G2 get their first round on the board, and they've put an end to the 6-round streak from ENCE.
Maybe all those realities are all simultaneously true at the same time, or if you believe the many worlds interpretation of quantum theory. So it's that. Yeah.
I feel like you just have like sentences like that memorized. You don't actually know what it means. I feel like you just have like postcards. Be like, this would be a really intelligent thing to say.
I feel like my understanding of quantum physics is great. It's good to fool people who don't know anything about it. But if I run into someone who actually has read it, they'll be like, no, Anders.
Just enough knowledge to fool like 80% of the population.
That's a quick summary of my life. 11 to 9. I'm moving into round number 21. That's a scary position for Aerial to be in. There's a gap in the smoke, and he turns the table off right on them. He should have been, again, probably not able to do any of that. The grenade followed them down, and Kenny down to 51. What a play from Aerial. He's 25 kills.
I was just about to say, he's having himself quite a game. This is a great performance. Lucky, he's got to try and hold on to lobby. They're coming behind him. Now he's put himself in the perfect position, and there's the gun barrel, but he can't react fast enough. He was thinking in his head that he would stop any rotations in towards the vent. When he doesn't see any, he got a little nervous about a lobby crunch, and he's shut down. And now you have a situation where X7 is here over the double doors. He can watch the exit from the windows if that's where they choose to attack. You've got Alu in support with the AWP, and you even got one player wrapping behind him with the M4 as well. I think G2 is screwed about 7 different ways.
Yeah, and that... I mean, at that point, what do you even do? So far, waiting. I mean, that actually commonly is the first option, right? You say, well, maybe they'll make a mistake.
Yeah, maybe someone does something silly.
And you're like, oh, they're not making mistakes. Wallbang's not always the follow-up, but it's not bad at all. Jax, if you could have got that second kill, the first one even was great, but if he could have followed up, that would have been more. Oh, no, the knife was out. He didn't connect with it, but fair play. I mean... They had to try something there. 12 to 9, and that is, I don't know, that's a problem for G2, because they were only just starting to win around here.
Yeah, it's not like the backbreaker, but it's certainly given them a bit of a limp in this game. They've got to go down to Deagles, a smaller investment to CZ. Mac 10s are on the board as well.
Not the backbreaker, but maybe the nutcracker. Mac 10s are out.
Yeah, we do love those. Mac 10s on the board. I think this is a case where, like, actually, I mean, I'm pretty impressed with how G2 managed in the first half. Unfortunately, they dropped those rounds right at the end because I felt like they needed those. But a map like this, where it's obvious they don't seem as well drilled as they did on Dust 2, I think the Pisteron was such a necessity for this T side.
Sunny not really able to take that fight with all the flashbangs in his eyes. And now they're down and they get the opening. The running Mac 10, the bomb plant as well. They are still not having very good equipment on the T side, but that's going to put a lot of pressure on and opening the door for Aerial to get a big double. G2, what's happened now? Amanek, he's already got a double kill of his own. He's going to do a bit more. Might have found one big kill there. Can he get the follow-up? He nearly does. Such a huge round out of Amanek, but is it enough here? Deagle, the bomb is right in front. Nobody's tapped it. Only Aerial has a kit, and he's low on health already. That's going to be fairly easy for Lucky to get the kill, or it should be. There's the killer. Now Sunny, he's out of time. Yeah, that is a round and a half coming out of G2. 10 on the board, and Amanek, the main engineer of that one, with the Mac 10.
The Mac 10s, seemingly these days, is always the answer.
Yeah.
Mac 10s have become very efficient.
I mean, in the beginning, it was sort of a joke, wasn't it, when people picked that up?
Well, I mean, you know,
no one's laughing now.
Vega Squadron was onto something. They showed us the way back in Boston.
Pioneers.
Yeah. We didn't even realize it at the time, but
it was hard to believe.
They taught everyone a lesson. 12-10, and ENCE is kind of out of money. They do have Sunny with the AK from the previous round. They have upgraded pistols, and they've got a good amount in the bank. So it's just gonna be one round where they sit out with some weaker weapons. But I think that's a great chance now for G2 to get back into this game. Trading rounds back and forth, finally kind of bringing the economy down low.
It's like if you're, you know, an early prophet, Moses, trying to show up to people and tell them something about, you know, the truth, and you know, they're just gonna think you're crazy, right? It's Vega Squadron, you know.
Okay.
In a nutshell.
So Vega Squadron's like the UFOs of the Counter-Strike world. Yeah,
they were, you know, trying to explain to people how this works, and nobody wanted to listen.
Yeah, well, we're all listening now. Jack's gonna turn the corner. Aerial series had a great game, but now he's only got the P250. Oh, G2's got to be nervous when that first kill goes out against you, and the 2 kills from Aerial. He's been a double kill machine on defense outside, and that's stunning. If you're G2, that's so frustrating that a P250 and 1 Deagle is about to turn the tides of this map. This felt like your last chance to get back into the game and steal this map from ENCE, and it's gone the other direction.
I think now we're at backbreaking, surely.
This is the backbreaker. This is the pile driver, the nutcracker. It's everything.
All of the discs have broken. It's absolutely bad, isn't it?
I don't know enough about wrestling to give any more. That's all I had.
Yeah, I don't know. No. We'll work on that someday.
You know. Well, hold the thought. Sunny, gotta find one out in the open. He drops Kenny. The follow-up is there as well. I was gonna say, I was always surprised coming into the broadcasting world how much talent we have that really enjoys WWE.
Yeah,
we're not either of any of those people. You and I.
We're not. I feel like I've missed out somehow, but I
only feel like I've missed out when I hear Richard and Duncan talk about it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, and I have this odd feeling that if I go back and try and enjoy it now, I will miss out on like the childhood nostalgia, and it'll just be weird. I make up for it by watching MMA though. Just watch UFC instead. You know, obviously not necessarily the same thing, but I'm just saying.
Well, just a single Mac 10 this time. It's on Amanek, and Alu's gotten off. He's even tagged up Jax through the body of Lucky. Oh, in the follow-up, he really wanted to take that shot, but that's the worst smoke wall I've ever seen.
Can't even really call it a wall.
No, that smoke doesn't do anything.
Like, I actually don't know what the, if anyone has ever tried to calculate the amount of bricks needed before you can you can even define it as a wall.
Okay. Is there a number?
Or is it just about like the space that it occupies, and if it's, you know, like it has to prevent somebody from getting to somewhere else? I'm not sure. But certainly that wasn't it.
It's a very theoretical, philosophical discussion on walls.
Yeah, I was trying to bring in maybe there's some linguistic genius out there that can help us out. Oh no. The smoke was there. The timing was not. Kiyoshima though, will find a kill. A chance for a 1 versus 4 and an ace clutch here to try and bring an 11th round. Even saying it out loud, you sort of lose confidence going through the sentence. You think like, no, it's not really happening. And Alu will find him.
There's even one above him, so any fight he got in, he would have been immediately pounced upon and eliminated.
Triple for Alu, though, and a 14th round for ENCE. They're 2 rounds away from giving us that 3rd map. I would love to see Kenny open Overpass. Love to see Alu open over. I just think we've got all the right pieces in play here for a spectacular 3rd map. And again, the winner is going to be facing Liquid, so we want to make sure it's the absolute most deserving one, because that's going to be rough. Well,
ENCE has certainly deserved it in this map. Aerial in specific, 30 and 15 for him. He's been in beast mode outside. He's been disgusting, but I mean, ENCE, you know, clawing back around where they had to save with just pistols, able to turn that in their favor. It's 30 kills on Aerial, it's 19 on Sergey, who's the next up. And all that fragging power that we saw at G2 on Dust 2, it's not here on Nuke. You have Keo and Jax are the top fraggers with 16 apiece, leading the way for the French side.
Pretty much everything on the line here. G2 certainly winning some weird rounds down the stretch here on the T side, but they need to find a consistent pattern on this T side now, something that they can return to an exploit, and that's actually really hard on Nuke to do that on T side. Oh, look at Aerial again. You said he's been sort of a strong player out here, and he almost had that timing, but even then, Sunny and Jax are going to be, or sorry, Sunny and Alu are going to be making up for it.
I think he got baited. I think he got pulled out in the open by attention on the other side of the map, and that was G2 just taking advantage of it. He realized his error, the error of his ways, and just had to commit to the fight. You see Amanek looking at the floor, trying to listen, trying to get information, and he's got it, and Keo's got the opening kill downstairs. Sunny falls. But there's just not a lot of utility on this French side. Even if they get into the lower bomb site, how do you block off all these choke points?
What a shot from Amanek. 2 versus 3. Sergey and X7 certainly have the health and going to be winning that fight straight up under 30 seconds now. And Sergey in a position to maybe catch them if they run into the bomb site, but they're not doing that right now. Amanek going to go the high ground instead. It may prove really valuable. Oh, wait. Oh, he even pre-fires it, and Sergey feels so uncomfortable behind that he makes a move. Now, bomb going to be going down with less than 10 seconds left at a very, very tough 1 versus 2 here for X7. Remember, they know he was downstairs, so that'll give them some info to work with.
I mean, they're saying he's going to flank lobby or he's going to come up heaven. And you've already got a player up there to protect against it. So all you have to do is worry about this. X7 now. He's found a way to get this close without being spotted. Swinging out wide while crawling, but Jax is ready. Triple kill in the round for Jax. And G2 stays alive, stays in this map. 11 to 14.
That was from a 3 versus 4 at the start of the round?
Yeah.
So pretty good job recovering that. And you're absolutely right about looking into the ground to obviously, if you don't know, if you manage to track the audio sources through the wall, I mean, not only you can hear them all, but you can also get a sense of where they're actually going, like direction-wise. So that can help out a fair bit. Like in or he's just trying to relive the nostalgia of Tremors. Do you remember that movie?
Oh, that movie was sick.
It's an amazing movie.
Even some of the early sequels were pretty good.
It's such a fantastically stupid concept that you just love it.
Yeah, but it's the cast that really sold it. They had Mr. Miyagi in there.
They had Bert, the guy with the basement full of guns.
Yeah. Was it Kevin Bacon was in that?
Yeah, it was Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
And his wife as well. They like an amazing couple living in out in the desert. I love everything about that movie.
No, it's fantastic. It won't stand the test of time in terms of special effects, but I think it would still be worth a watch.
You should still watch it.
Yeah.
Tremors.
That strikes me as one of those movies that definitely has had like remakes made, like sequels made in the last like 10 years that just don't get advertised, like straight to, I don't know, what is it now? Straight to streaming or something like that. They don't really do straight to tape anymore.
Memory hold indeed. Hiroshima, one fight being won against him, but Aerial, you done with the double kills for a hot minute. It's fine, I guess. He's got 31, and we're just now starting the 26th round, so give him a break.
Yeah, you'd hope that there'd be someone on his team to step up to the plate and just carry him over the finish line. He's gotten you there. Jack's gonna have a good wrap around towards Heaven. There's no real defense in this upper bomb site either. It's just kind of Sunny pushed in towards Hut with the shotgun. Everyone else over in ramp room. So shouldn't be too much defense mounted.
That's going to have to be the greatest auto shot of all time if he has to cover. He even gets Molotov, but I was going to say, if he has to try and return to stop the bomb, and they spotted him running out of there, so he can't even really do anything. It's upsetting, but it was a pretty auto shotgun that he had. I think it was just nicely...
Like the skin was nice?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think it's that cool.
It's all right.
The slipstream?
It's colorful.
It is blue.
You won't lose it in the dark?
I don't know if it's colorful.
Yeah, maybe that does imply
multiple colors. It's okay. I like this setup from ENCE at the moment. I like this setup at the end. They're going to be able to take so many guns away. Sunny just waiting for contact from the pistol. There's the peek. And when I say so many guns, what I really meant was like one.
It did look like it was going to be way more impactful. In some ways, it almost was. But still, it's G2 lingering in the game. Still with just a little bit of a grip on this 14-12. First map was in overtime to try and decide it. Second map, kind of heading there right now.
Yeah, give us the bonus rounds. We're ready.
That would be truly heartbreaking for ENCE if somehow they can't win this now.
Well, especially because they lost by a comeback. Oh, here we go. Amanek with the Mac 10. And again, Alu just so blind. He's missing his spray. Oh, he's standing in the flames. No, Sergey. He's traded off for Sunny, excuse me. And it's just hectic in this upper bomb site. Trades every which way until Kenny gets involved. G2 on the verge of getting to 13. But they need to find out where X7 is.
Those were some spectacular shots from Kenny. And there were so many people on that bomb side. I think that's why it's even like this. ENCE had 4 people, more or less, that were just ready to fight. Now, bomb going down in the lower bomb side. In Your X7, that is almost the worst thing that could have happened, short of maybe rotating right past this player with an AK out. So that was the worst thing. The second worst thing was the bomb going down in the lower bomb side.
Yeah, well, I think as well that's an educated guess because, I mean, G2 was... I mean, remember, they split up. Kenny went down there alone with the bomb. If for some reason X7 had like gone downstairs or was downstairs, they could have been in a lot of trouble. But they're just saying so much action at the upper bomb site. There's no way X7 has not rotated to either lobby or over towards Heaven to get involved here at the A bomb site. Let's just dip out. Listen, well, I was gonna say before that rush threw everything into craziness. Remember, Dust 2 was a comeback by G2 to win that. To take that map, it felt like ENCE was going to have that map with no problem until the comeback began. Now here on Nuke, the map of ENCE's choice, up in a big way, a dominant defense, and G2 might just have one more comeback in them. And what a disaster across the best of 3 to have both maps lost by a comeback. Oh, this is nice from Alu. Save the AWP.
Definitely save the AWP. You at least get one more round to make sure you get that double overtime. You're absolutely right. That story is the one that we're now reliving again on Nuke. And for ENCE, surely that will recall some pretty bad memories. We're looking for an exit here is Sergey. Ooh, quick with that trigger.
There's also there's the rifle on the door as well, so he can actually save a gun as also. And a smoke. Oh, they've done well for themselves here. M4A1 pass over to Sergey, although Amanek is going to take it away at the end. So, sorry about your loss.
Yeah, I mean, every little thing matters right now. They can still buy, so that's great, but it could have an impact in the 30th round, right? Saving that run rifle absolutely makes a difference. But they still have a chance here. They can still close the door on them. Timeout here. This is going to be, I don't know. It's going to be tricky for ENCE to find the rhythm again. I just feel like right now G2, a lot of things are working for them.
Well, that's the thing. This is the question of like how much was Ariel really propping you guys up throughout the CT side? Because as you mentioned, we talked about him getting to 30 kills, I think like 5 rounds ago. He's only at 31 now, so he's cooled off quite a bit recently. And this is where you need the rest of the team to step up.
He got a bunch of those kills playing really aggressive up by that red container. And I guess you can't do that forever, and like, they're going to start to pay a lot more attention.
Right.
But we'll see what he has. Throwing that forward smoke, the flashbang. That's kind of how he set himself up previously. Now, they are being very paranoid and checking. The wall goes up, and he's just listening. And yeah, they're going to be rotating down quickly. Sunny in position, yeah.
He wants them to come here. He was going to smoke that, but he wants them to actually try and attack this. He is the only person. There goes that smoke. There's the counter utility tossed out. Meanwhile, 3 players for G2 actually still very close to Mini outside, and the smoke is cleared, and that's just too long to make the cross. Whether it's into warehouse or into secret stairs, you cannot let yourself be stuck out in the open like that.
Look, they're going to run boost over to try and get to the other side, which is really always a fun time. Did he see that, Aloe? It doesn't really feel like it. He's very exposed from that position if he'd stepped a little bit too far out. So it's a cool idea. Now he's going to be back. No, he didn't notice still, but he's going to be quick enough to get the kill on Jax. He could have been dead already, but now it's a 3-on-5. And ENCE trying to secure at least overtime on this nuke map, and probably more than that if they can. Time running a bit low now, under 40 seconds.
Well, Lucky knows exactly where Aloe is. I think he's going to choose to bypass him at this point, though. Positioned. I mean, Lucky's got the bomb as well, so if Lucky goes down here on this take, I don't think they have any idea this is possible. Aloe was just here. Lucky could actually ruin everything. No one's looking up. He's found the player inside the site. There's got to be one more. They're searching for him frantically. He's behind the boxes. There goes Aerial, able to get nothing done, and G2 again have found a way into this round, and even Aloe with the missed shot. They know he's in lobby. Bomb's being planted with 6 seconds. He's going to try and stop it, but he's overextended. That was the last hope, and I think ENCE, what a difficult retake, a 2-on-3.
That run from Aloe, that was the Hail Mary, wasn't it? Like, if I've ever seen one. If he could have got that kill somehow, that would have been a miracle. But now instead, Kiyoshima taking down X7 and Sunny in a 1 versus 3. G2 just threading the needle in the most absurd way.
Anders, they don't have the money to lose that follow-up weapon or that one. This is a disaster of epic proportions. Aloe's got 7,400, but everyone else is at 3,500.
Yeah.
Like, you have
That's
SMGs, pistols, and utility to fight with around this AWP. That's not to say it's not doable, but God, it doesn't feel good going into this final round of the half. And it's been 5 in a row for G2. It was 14-10 at one point.
Certainly must be a sinking feeling here for the ENCE side. Come back into overtime for G2 on Dust 2. They end up winning that map that was their map pick. And now ENCE, the huge lead throughout this map. I mean, especially that second half looking very good for them. And suddenly G2 crawled their way back. And now they're 1 round away from winning it. Aloe missing a shot. Amanek will take him down. 4 versus 5. And that was the one rifle they actually had. Now they have UMPs and Deagles left. They have to get it overtime here, or it'll be a while before they can really recover mentally. Aerial goes down. 3 versus 4.
This has just been deja vu. Remember the end of Dust 2 as well. Aloe missed a couple sitters that seemed like ones he was going to be nailing based off his performance in the rest of the map. Here again, a missed shot to a player walking down those stairs. And G2 might have just done it again. X7 stepping up to the plate, but did not realize they're already above him. And G2 is just getting advanced positions and hitting the pause button. ENCE is walking right into them. Sergey flanking outside. Sunny flanking lobby, but G2 is being patient and calculated, and I can't see a world in which they let this round slip away.
No, ooh, nice headshot from Sergey, but it still doesn't give them a lot. The bomb plant finally going through.
Oh, no.
Sergey, good headshot. Sunny has somehow managed to sneak right under. They don't know that he's there yet, Lucky. Oh, Kenny up top instead, and now it's Sergey in a 1 versus 2. He's done so much already, but... And here's Kid is back as well. Out in the open, he gets 1 more headshot, but it is not enough. A steal and a huge comeback, winning 6 rounds in a row to make it 16-14 here. G2 takes